prejudices. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Mike, traveling's about to open up, and wait till you hear how.
I have a feeling it's gonna not be good.
What can we realistically expect once the immunization process actually starts? And I'm hearing there's talk about a vaccine passport. What is that?
Ah, Ghost!
Yes, thank you for asking. So the vaccine passport is going to be a system we're going to implement where you're basically not allowed to have any sort of semblance of a normal life unless you've had the vaccine. It's going to be proof that you had a vaccine. So it's going to be like sort of our way of circumventing the Constitution and forcing you to do something against your will, but finding a clever way around it by having private businesses all sign up for this passport program. Yay!
Well, that
Fuck it.
sounds
You know
great,
what?
Susan. Where do I sign up?
You know what? I don't care. I host an internet talk show. I barely leave my house. I'm old. I don't care anymore. And guess what? I get 90% of my shit from Amazon. I'll line Jeff Bezos' pockets. I don't need a passport. Leave the box at the fucking door. That's fine. I'll live off Uber Eats and fucking Amazon. I'm not getting the shot.
Yeah, so this is this kind of futuristic idea. Will we actually have a requirement to get a certificate of vaccination before we can do things? So
Why?
It's a futuristic idea. No. It's not a futuristic idea. It's an Orwellian hellscape. No. You see how it's just like future. It's like the future. It's like flying cars. No, it's not. It's the movie Equilibrium.
So, like, you know how everybody's been waiting on that game, Cyberpunk 2077? This is basically like Cyberpunk.
Oh, I like video games.
Yeah, so do you like video games?
I love video games.
I'm going to put this needle in you.
That's great. Do I get a video game?
Well, no.
Oh,
We'll get you a Pokemon game for Switch.
fine.
But that's all you're getting. By the way, why do you notice her? This is the only time I've ever seen anybody like this. Her teeth come down, but in a rounded fashion. I've never seen that before. They actually curve perfectly round. Right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
This is the most bizarre.
She's like doll's teeth.
It's very odd, right?
kind of futuristic idea. Will we actually have a requirement to get a certificate of vaccination before we can do things? So as Dr. Gupta was talking about, it's going to be a while before most of us can get a vaccine. It's going to be the most high-risk groups at the beginning because of limited supply. And then folks like Dr. Fauci are talking about spring and summer.
Do you see how she just blew right through that? So it's going to be
I'm hoping she comes back to it because I kind of feel like that's the biggest issue with everything they're talking about.
She's not going to come back to it because this is how they operate. They slip it in so they can say they told you, and then they go, and they add a bunch of stuff. So you go, yeah, okay, that was great. You talked for like 4 minutes, but can you go back to the part where you said a passport where we're not going to be allowed to go do normal things?
That's the important thing.
Because you said that, but then you blew past it and started talking about some other things. That's what the media always does. They're just like, yeah, hey, listen, we're doing great over in Afghanistan. We've already begun the process of clearing rubble from Manhattan, and we're going to start the rebuilding process. And America is going to come back stronger than ever. And we've also authorized the NSA to wiretap private citizens' phone calls without a warrant. And also, soon we're going to have the engineers come out. We're going to be redesigning the New York City skyline. It's going to be beautiful.
That's awesome. Oh,
green energy.
What did you say before that, though?
Well, we'll get to that. The buildings are going to be built to be a bit more airplane-proof in the future.
No, but the thing before, though, you said something about the
Build
NSA
back better.
What about wiretapping?
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the free drinks, and you guys have a great day. Take care. Wear a mask.
What?
But that's what they do, and then you go, wait. I really would like to revisit the thing you just said about the warrantless wiretaps. What was that about?
Can you explain that one to me?
We're going to start wiretapping rival political campaigns. Anyway, thanks, folks. Have a great day.
But don't worry, we're going to also wiretap our own political campaigns. We wiretap everybody.
Everyone's wiretapped. Yay! It's safer.
For everybody really being able to get access. And so then what does life start to look like?
I don't know. What does it look like? I hate this woman.
Well, let's see what life starts to look like.
I know, because
I want to see.
These people are going to be the ones that these people represent the dystopia. These people are the ones that are going to be like, hey, who wants to get a needle in their arm so they're allowed to go to Busch Gardens again? Yay. And you're going to be like, this is who wants to be allowed to engage in interstate travel unrestricted. Do you have your passport? Yay. They get these little fucking upbeat little bunny looking bitches.
bunny looking bitches.
This is what she looks like. She looks like a bunny.
She really does. She looks like the female rabbit from Space Jam. Right?
So then what does life start to look like? Do we have to have
Hell?
that certificate of vaccination
A living
before
death?
getting on a cruise ship? Or
Do we have to have a certificate of vaccination?
that certificate of vaccination before getting on a cruise ship or getting on a plane, for example? Experts I've talked with say that is a possibility. But what about like going to concerts or going to a restaurant? Would you need a certificate of vaccination to do that? That might be less likely, but companies like Ticketmaster are already thinking about.
Why is she so? Do you know if I got this information in a real world, you know how I would be acting? Not like this. Not like, my friend. I'd be like, guys. This is the most important thing you're gonna hear today. They're going to have to stick medicine in you for you to fly and be on cruise ships. We can't allow this. Instead, she's like, experts I'm talking about are like saying. I'm like, everybody should be fucking outraged and going, are you fucking kidding me? You're going to let we have to let the government stick a needle in our arm before I can go on a cruise or go on an airplane? Are you fucking nuts?
Yeah, no, you're right though. If they did, like, if I had to break that news to people, they'd be like, "We're gonna go live to Mike Shealy now. He's got some news," and the camera would hit me, and it would be this. They're gonna you just start screaming and grabbing people and going. They'd have to come and wrap you up in a straitjacket and take you out of there. It would be like Charlie Day for remember It's Always Sunny when he's doing the Pepe. It would be the Pepe Sylvia thing. Yeah. You would just have a board and you'd be rambling and screaming and they'd go like, "What is wrong with?" But she's like, "Yay, needles, forests, yay!"
Nation to do that. That might be less likely, but companies like Ticketmaster are already thinking about ideas like that. Could they have a technology, for example, to link your concert ticket to proof that you've been vaccinated? So these are the kinds of things that are getting talked about. None of it is set in stone yet, but experts are saying we should think about these things, what life is going to be like with vaccines. And they are warning that even as more of us get vaccinated, we're still going to have to wear masks and socially distance for a lot of next year.
No surprise.
So then what's the point? So you have to get a vaccine, but your life also doesn't get to go back to normal.
Yeah. Isn't it
so
great?
what's the point? I don't understand what the point is.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. No one knows.
There's literally nothing about this that's good. There's not even really anything like, there's really just no way to spin this positively. Like if I worked for like the press corps for these people, I'd be like, I don't know what you want me to go out there and tell these people.
You've been talking, Meg, with a lot of experts. Have you talked to anybody about, will we be able to choose which vaccine we get? That's been a big question.
Yeah, so at the beginning, probably not, just because supply is going to be so limited. It's going to be take what you can get whenever you can get it. But if this turns into a vaccine we have to take every year, like the flu shot, or
if this turns into a vaccine, listen to this, that we have to take every year, like the flu shot. You don't have to take the flu shot every year. You can choose to.
Never had one.
But no, but the wording of that is like you have to take every. So this isn't. They already missed what you said, man. They already slipped these things in. They're already preparing you for it. This isn't going to be one and done. This is going to be every year now. You're going to have to get a vaccine, a COVID vaccine to live your life.
This whole thing is creepy. They really need to find a woman who's less creepy to tell us this. Like, she's too happy. She's too fake smile. Like, this is a woman who has never been happy her entire life. This is a woman who read books on how to look happy and how to succeed by being, smiley and stuff. But this broad there's nothing going on in those eyes. Look at the eyes.
Get it. But if this turns into a vaccine we have to take every year, like the flu shot, or maybe every couple years, by then there will probably be enough supply that, like the flu shot, there will be different options we can choose from. For the flu shot, there's a high-dose version for people over 65. There's a nasal spray. There are different options, and you can actually call your pharmacy and make sure they've got the one you want before you go in. So down the line, we could see that for COVID vaccines, but at the beginning, it's going to be take what you can get.
Hey, Dr. Gupta, there was what I thought was kind of a disturbing poll from the American Association of Nurses revealing that only 36% said
Hey, I got a disturbing poll for you right here.
Is it your penis?
It was my dick.
Cool.
was kind of a disturbing poll from the American Association of Nurses revealing that only 36% said that they would get vaccinated. And I've got to imagine that extends out into the general population. And as we've heard, it's
only 36% of nurses saying they're going to get vaccinated. So right there, that shows you.
I love how he said, but you know,
it's disturbing.
It's disturbing you won't take this untested drug. It's disturbing to me.
Ew.
Like, no, to me, you know what's disturbing to me? What's disturbing to me was, what did they say? 36 said they won't take it. Mm-hmm. So what's disturbing to me is that 64% said, sure, I'll take it. What's disturbing to me is how many people are going, what's in it? I don't even care. Fine, just shoot it in me. That's disturbing. Disturbing to me is, sure, shoot me up, government. That's fucking crazy how many people are like okay with that.
not the vaccine, it's vaccinations. Is that going to be a problem going forward?
Well, I'm turning my head.
He looks like a confused dog.
He really does.
He looks like a dog.
When you talk to a dog?
When you speak complete sentences to a dog.
Like,
listen, I'm going to go to Wendy's, okay? And I'm going to go to Walmart, but I'll be back in about an hour. And they're just...
You know, I suspect that once we have the data actually publicly available, once this advisory group of external experts levies their decisions and says that the vaccines are effective, very effective in some cases, and broadly safe, that number is going to change. You're going to see broader adoption. I know all of us in healthcare, clinicians, public health experts are eager to see the data because we want a message on the data and say the data is...
It's like max headroom over here.
It really is. That's a weird glitch. Because it usually doesn't glitch like that. That's an odd glitch.
Yeah. So when you have all the data, but how many things, like you said, how many companies are being sued now that there was data that everything was safe? It happens all the time where they say this is safe, this is safe, this is safe, until it turns out that it makes your ears fall off, or you start dying, or you start developing cancer. It's like, oh, the data's going to be out there. The problem is that science changes all the time.
Is promising. Not only are we interested in getting the vaccine, getting immunized, but you should too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Indian Stanley Tucci.
So I do think that number is subject to change, Al, because everybody really wants this vaccine to work.
And you must try the hot plate special. It reminds me of the fucking 80s cafe from Back to the Future too.
That's right. Yeah. With Reagan.
You must try the hot plate special.
It was like Michael Jackson and Ronald Reagan.
It was Ronald Reagan. Yeah, Michael Jackson, Ronald Reagan, and then what's the name of the Ayatollah?
That future was so much cooler.
Oh God, hell yeah!
And now that I think about it, but yeah, man, this whole thing is going to be pretty fucking scary. They're just going to force this issue, and I mean, I legit was thinking about this last night when I was doing my show, like. I usually don't get very like full spurgy with stuff, but we are really at a point where I start to wonder, like, we might legit be at the end here. Like, this is the way like every religion and every sci-fi movie and every work of fiction has described what is essentially our end. So it's not unreasonable to start asking the question, like, are we at the end? Like, are we at the beginning of the end? Are we heading towards like T1000s and stuff?
We're getting there. I think we're closer. I think we're closer than we think. I'll say that.
Like, I'm sure businesses just want to get back up and running the way they used to. Do you think
they can? They can right now. Did you know? By the way, this is a secret. I'm going to write a book about this. I'm going to do a TED Talks. Businesses can get back up and running if the governor lets them.
Oh, can I do a TED Talk too? But I want my TED Talk to be more like a real traditional TED Talk. Sure. Look, if you don't vaccinate your children, we can't have...
This is my TED Talk.
Anyway, thank you for coming to TED Talk. If anybody reposts this video, I will copyright strike you.
Require employees to get COVID vaccines?
So there is talk about that.
Wait, what did they say about require? I'm sorry. Let me listen to that question again. Let me hear that again.
Employees to get COVID vaccines?
Will there be companies that we're going to require employees to get COVID vaccines?
So there is talk about that, but it could be pretty complicated to do. So here's the thing. It's not illegal, but there could be a lot of challenges to it. We do know that,
but here's the thing, though. She made a statement that isn't true. It's not illegal. It is if you have a religious objection to it, then it becomes illegal. Many times, and how many times has it happened? Companies cannot force you to go against your religious beliefs. It's been fought in the Supreme Court several times. They can't. So it is actually, depending on your reason for not getting it, it can be illegal.
I mean, if I would say this, if you're watching this right now, if you don't currently attend a church, I would recommend you start attending a church.
I'm gonna back this up real quick.
And by the way, and I don't even mean you got to go every week, or you just establish some kind of semi-regular visits to a church, a presence there, and use the religious exemption. Plus, just go to church, because now would probably be a really good time to maybe gain a little perspective. Because this is a scary time.
Running the way they used to. Do you think they'll require employees to get COVID vaccines?
So there is talk about that, but it could be pretty complicated to do. So here's the thing. It's not illegal, but there could be a lot of challenges to it. We do know that, with things like the flu shot now, especially for healthcare workers, a lot of places do mandate an annual flu shot, and other shots like the hepatitis B vaccine. And of course, for schools and daycares, often vaccinations are mandated as well. But there are always exemptions for medical or religious reasons, and especially for a new vaccine.
Medical and religious reasons. See, there's your issue there.
Vaccine like the COVID vaccine, there could be more challenges. But employers are talking about either considering mandating it or at least making it as easy as possible for their employees to get a vaccine. Perhaps
that should be the only thing.
But again, the problem with that is you also kind of fall into HIPAA violations, which means you don't have to give any of your medical information to an employee. You don't have to do that. It's against the law. Like you don't have to give any of your medical information to an employee for them to be able to for them to hire you. Like how can you? Now, I don't agree with this, but even with her saying stuff like, oh, nurses and stuff or medical care workers need it, I don't agree with it. I don't think they should have to take it. But I understand the logic behind medical workers getting a vaccine. I get the logic behind it. I don't agree with it, but I get the logic behind it. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Arby's employees. We're talking about run-of-the-mill.
Well, Arby's employees deserve any pain that comes to them.
That's a good point. Oh God, it's so bad.
It's so
bad.
But
I'm talking like restaurant employees. We're talking about bartenders. We're not talking about frontline workers here.
I see what you're saying, Royce, but I do have a counterpoint. You brought up HIPAA laws, and that's adorable. But we threw HIPAA laws out the window when we started doing contact tracing apps.
Yeah, you're right.
And when we start HIPAA, it's so funny. There's certain things that people still will throw in your face and go, "Hey, HIPAA laws say I don't have to do." Hey, my Second Amendment right. Sorry. You know what I mean? Like, it's just hilarious. First Amendment, right to assemble. You tell that to the people at Charlottesville.
Yeah, you're right.
It makes me laugh, dude. There are no rules. There's only rules for us. I'll tell you this. If you tell anybody about my medical stuff, you're breaking the law. You'll go to jail. But Pfizer can do whatever they want. Like, this bunny-looking goofy bitch can do whatever she wants. The media can dox children, and literally the media can openly threaten you from their verified accounts now. And they don't. I'm not really relying on my God-given constitutional rights anymore.
Well, let's finish up with Babs Bunny over here.
Even having them on site, if that's possible down the road.
Definitely new territory for all of us. Meg Terrell, Dr. Vin Gupta, as always, thank you for your time this morning. It's a busy time.
Race for the vaccine, dude.
I'm not really, you know what? I'm trying to race towards Christmas, a little bit of time off. I'm trying to race towards 2021, moving beyond this, trying to maybe
there'll be no beyond this.
Oh, great.